Banter, September 2022, Isaac. Now, I always sort of thought that Isaac was a little bit underdone in the Bible. It's sort of like, there's Abraham and there's Jacob, but just a sec, if you must know, technically there's a bloke in between who doesn't have much of a story, really, does he? It's sort of like when he's young, getting nearly sacrificed, and when he's old, giving Jacob and Esau their blessings, and not much in between. There's a bit, but just sort of digs wells like his dad did, Esek and Sitner or something like that, and whatever it is. So there's not much going on about Isaac in the Bible. He's not exactly nondescript, but he's a little bit nondescript, if you know what I mean. There is information on him. Followed in his father's footsteps and was a man of Yahweh. He was a man of the Lord, and he had the covenantal promise which his father had as well. But he didn't exactly give any sort of major statements of wisdom or anything like that. The fathers of the Rainbow Torah, Genesis 1:1-11:9, they didn't make terribly many divine proclamations either, quite frankly. But Isaac, we do have information on his blessings with Esau and Jacob, so we've got some idea of how he thinks in his elderly age. So there's something going on there, and I suppose he was probably humble enough to we don't really know if he resisted this sacrificial attempt from Abraham, but the way it's usually portrayed is that he meekly accepted that that's what God wanted, and that's what it would have to happen, I suppose. So I give the impression that he was a meek enough Hebrew, I suppose. Of course, he was circumcised, and he's one of the earliest of circumcision alongside Abraham and Ishmael. So he's right up there at the top of the circumcision covenant status people is Isaac, right up in the top of the hierarchies, like Abraham, I suppose. I suppose for the circumcision covenant, it all goes back to Abraham, doesn't it? But Isaac's right up there, I suppose, is something like number 2. You could argue, because the covenant carries on. God says he'll maintain his covenant with Isaac. The covenant stipulation for Abraham to have his household circumcised was recognized through Ishmael, and I have a feeling it's supposed to still be, and same for Edom, Jacob's brother, Isaac's other son. They should still circumcise, as far as I'm concerned. But the child of promise, his only son, Isaac, was Abraham's only son, as it says. I'm not sure what's going on there, but Isaac was a child of promise, and from him came Jacob and the 12 tribes. So he is a biblical figure of merit, and he counts. We don't have much about his life story, but for so many of the biblical names and figures, which some of them being quite big names, we don't have much at all anyway. I mean, for example, Enoch. A lot of people in sort of denominational chapters talk about Enoch walked with God and stuff like that. And Enoch, was raptured and things like that. But it's like 2 or 3 verses on him. Quite a popular name with people in past eras, and there's nothing on him. So we've big names, and Isaac was big name. There's not that much detail on him, but there's not that much detail on any of them that much. Some of them have a fair bit of a life story. King David, a fair bit of information on David. King Solomon, a reasonable amount of information on Solomon. In the New Testament, Jesus, we've got quite a bit of detail on Jesus, but then again, a lot of the early years, who knows what he was up to, just doing carpentry, I suppose. Isaac.